Welcome as we continue our study of Colossians in chapter 1. Today we're in verse 7. Just as you also learned from Epaphras, our beloved fellow servant, who is a faithful minister on your behalf of Christ. So the first question is, who is Epaphras? And he is a deacon over the church in Colossae, and he acted as a liaison to Paul. Next question would be, what is learned? Which is Menthano, and it's a fairly general word. Really just means to be appraised of or to learn. Fellow minister. So fellow minister is interesting. It is sundulos, which is you have the prefix of sun, which means with or together, and then doulos, which is a pretty common word, um, and that is it's usually translated as a servant or slave. It can be a bond or bond servant, um, involuntarily or voluntarily. So this is a word that Paul, when he describes himself as a servant, he uses this word. It is, again, it's a very common word. Faithful is pistis, or pistos here, which we've seen before, which just means trustworthy, to believe, or to trust in. And minister, which is a new word, we haven't seen that before, is diakonos. And diakonos is, historically, it was a table waiter. um, that being said, the way it's used in the New Testament, you could translate it as a minister or a deacon, is where we get the word deacon. And it's generally some sort of low level servant within the church. And I would think probably to some level a teacher of some sort. Um, Not necessarily, but again, we have Epaphras, who would be very likely reading these letters from Paul and discussing them with the group. So again, he's a servant there, but he's executing Paul's commands for the church. He's attending to that church.